Hi, I am Mr. Crocker, and today we're going to be talking about the Northeast again, but we're going to be talking about the resources that come from that region. So resources are things that people use, things that are bought and sold in our economy, things that we turn into other things, okay? So when we look at the Northeast, we really just need to know what's there. And if you know what's there, what that land provides, then you've got a pretty good idea of what the resources are. So in that area in the Northeast, you've got a lot of trees, okay? And those provide lumber. So in that region, there's a logging industry. People cut down the trees, they turn them into lumber, they sell them, and people use them to build houses, okay? So that's one major resource, the lumber. Another major resource from that area has to do with the mountains. So we've got a mountainous area, and as a result of that, there is mining happening. Not like gold mining, but they're mining for stone. Okay, so just regular old stone that you can use to do a lot of things with, right? You can build roads. Sometimes people do use it for houses, countertops. There's a lot of different uses for stone, and a lot of that comes from the Northeast. They also find minerals. I guess some of those are in the book. It says a mineral is a non-living material, and then it lists things like granite, marble, things that I would call stone, but minerals are part of mining. And a quarry is a place where they do the mining. Also in the Northeast, we have the Atlantic Ocean, right? We have that coast. And so since there's a lot of coastline, there's a lot of fishing. That's another major industry. A lot of people in that area make their livelihood by fishing. And at times they have had problems with overfishing, which was caused by people catching more fish than what the fish themselves could replace in nature, right? So they had to create laws that limited how much you could take of a certain type of fish, or crabs or lobster, right? So they have an industry where people can go out and fish and sell the fish that they catch, but they also have laws that limit how much of those resources they can take out of the ocean so that we don't run out of them. Because if we just caught all the fish, or as much as we wanted, we would probably end up with fewer and fewer fish, right? Well, so that was the overfishing. Okay, now I wanted to take a look at the resource map. And this has a lot to do with your assignment. Okay, so this is a resource map. And if we take a look at it, and it's also going to be included, we got very zoomed in the page. We're zooming way in. Okay, just stop touching it. Oh, it wants to zoom in a lot. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this. Not too close of a look, but a look. And this shows you in the different areas of the Northeast what sorts of resources they have. And I cropped out the key, but I'll tell you, like the apple stands for fruits. So they have some fruit orchards growing. That's part of farming, right? The cheese actually stands for dairy products. So milk, cheese, and that's different than in Oklahoma, where we raise a lot of cattle for beef, right? These are probably smaller farms that have dairy cows where they use their milk. It's different than a beef ranch. We also see these piles. These are to represent stone and marble. So in these areas, looks like more New Hampshire and Massachusetts, they do a lot of mining for things like granite and marble, stone. These little berries are cranberries, and cranberries are another thing that you can grow like fruits and vegetables, but they're kind of cool because they grow them in what they call a bog. So they have, it's almost like a big pool, and the cranberries grow in a lot of water, like kind of like a swampy area. Okay, kind of different. And then along the ocean, you'll also see these fish to symbolize that a lot of fishing is happening. The jugs, those are maple syrup. Maple syrup comes out of a tree. You know, a maple tree, they tap it. The trees have sap in them. They get that sap out. They collect it in a jug. They sort of cook it and refine it, and they create maple syrup. And then way up here in the very north of Maine, we see potatoes. Apparently they grow potatoes, and also in New Hampshire and Vermont. So those are the types of resources that we see in the Northeast. And your assignment will be to look at another resource map that will look a lot like that one. And you are supposed to drag the things on that belong and leave the things off that don't belong. So like, for example, in Oklahoma, we grow a lot of wheat, right? We have a lot of flat open land. We grow a lot of wheat. We don't really do that in the Northeast. There's a lot of people up there. They don't have flat open territory for growing wheat. So when you do your assignment, that would be one of the things that you leave out. Okay. That's lesson 2, resources of the Northeast.